This is Fred Richani of TSC News. Good Lord Almighty, I'm looking at these Raw results. I'm reading my own Raw report. This was definitely an eventful show. This is Fred Richani with the Raw recap on the TSC News YouTube channel, August 28th, 2017. If you're wondering what report I'm reading, it's, well, from the brand new Sports Courier website. Log on to the sportscourier.com. Our official site is back up. Please pardon our appearance. It is a work in progress, but over the course of the next month or so, we're going to have a ton of exclusive content that you guys will definitely enjoy. Also, a quick note, as you see on your screen right here, teespring.com/TSC-news-gear. You can get the latest TSC News gear if you'd like to support us. T-shirts and hoodies in multiple sizes, and it ships all over the world. So just want to note that right now. And Sasha Banks may have to order another replica women's championship because she didn't hold this one long enough to frame it. Good God Almighty. We had our main event. We'll start with that, and then we'll work our way to the top again. Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss. This was a pretty good matchup between two bitter rivals in real life and in the ring. Unfortunately, less than 2 weeks after Sasha Banks captured the women's championship from Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam, she lost here. Unless I blinked and missed it. Clear as a sheet, fair and square, whatever you want to call it, in the middle of the ring via a blissful DDT. Alexa hit her DDT, pinned Sasha 1, 2, 3, and my jaw dropped. Because once again, Sasha Banks becomes the women's champion that can never, ever successfully defend her title. And I guess it's going to be a running gag until Sasha finally wins and defends the title. But my God. Now, a few things. One, I do think that Alexa Bliss is a very strong champion and heel character. She's great. Two, this totally killed Sasha Banks' momentum. If there's one thing WWE is phenomenal at, it's for the most part, unless you're Roman Reigns, well, other than tonight, they are great at killing babyfaces' momentum. Whether they do it intentionally or not, they just killed Sasha Banks here. How is Alexa Bliss a heel again? Now I'm all for clean finishes. I really am. Or finishes that are somewhat clean. I watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. They've got a ton of clean finishes. It's great. But here you have Sasha Banks holding the title for what? Like 9 days. 9 freaking days. Maybe, actually, might have been 8 days. Yeah, 8 days. Whatever. And she loses clean in the middle of the ring to Alexa Bliss just like that. No interference from Nia. No nothing. What? Now again, I could have missed it. I was prepping, for my whole deal. Okay, no, I'm looking right now at WWE's Twitter feed. No, I did not. Okay, no, I didn't. I don't think I missed any interference. Right? I was prepping for this stream while I was watching the main event in the background. I'm almost positive there's no tomfoolery whatsoever. Yet somehow, some way, Sasha Banks, the almighty Sasha Banks, who was in a Hell in a Cell match at one point in her career, could not kick out of a DDT. They killed Bayley. And now they're effectively killing Sasha Banks. I don't like it. And after the match, we had Nia Jax, who's going to be co-starring with Alexa Bliss in the next season of Total Divas. She went up to her, gave her a big hug, attacked Sasha, beat up Sasha a bunch, celebrated with Bliss, put her up on her shoulders, and then dropped her, similar to kind of like a poor man's or poor woman's Batista turn on Randy Orton with Evolution. When Randy Orton was celebrating with Evolution, and he was giving the thumbs up, and Triple H gave him the thumbs up, and then Triple H went. And then, of course, Randy Orton got his ass handed to him by Evolution. This was not as good as that angle, but it was effective. Nia Jax looks at the Women's Championship. She'll most likely be the next challenger. I'm seriously hoping that she wins the Women's Championship. She's worked hard. Yes, she's dangerous in the ring. She's got to be careful. I've been very hard on her and from that standpoint, and deservedly so. She's got to protect her opponents. But in terms of marketability, in terms of her presence. I think she'd be a nice change of pace, you know? WWE is falling into this formula of having these white blonde women's champions, and it's cool, I get it. These good-looking blondes who can wrestle or sort of wrestle, and you know, they're the world champion, and it's great and everything. They're marketable, blah, blah, but just a little variety here. You know, it was nice to have Naomi as women's champion, feeling the glow, unique gimmick, unique style. It was cool. It was nice to break away from the chain of Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. And yeah, Sasha Banks has been in the mix over the last couple of years since she's been in WWE, but her title runs have been, what, a month long? She hasn't made one successful defense in 4 title reigns. So for the most part, it's really, if you think about it, other than Becky Lynch and Naomi more recently, it's been Alexa Bliss and a whole lot of Charlotte. We get it. You guys like blondes. Triple H is a blonde. Well, was a blonde. Okay? We get it. We get it. But change it up a little bit, for love of God. So I'm all for change. I'm all for variety. And Nia Jax is women's champion. If she has these short squash matches where she doesn't have to go 15 minutes and kill people, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with it. Long term, who the hell knows what they're going to do with this division? I would like to assume that Asuka, who's currently nursing a broken collarbone, or an allegedly broken collarbone, I'd like to think that Asuka maybe will make her debut eventually, maybe at TLC in October, maybe at Survivor Series in November, and defeat either Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. I really feel like the Raw Women's Championship scene needs a shakeup. They've done so much creative damage to Bayley. This loss does more damage to Sasha Banks. Ugh. I mean, she had some momentum. She really did. I think she was hurt by the fact that she didn't turn heel earlier this year against Bayley. I thought that really hurt her, but I said, you know what? Maybe they're building into Sasha versus Alexa. And then they pivoted and went to Bayley versus Alexa, and Sasha only got the spot because Bayley got hurt. Why'd they do the title change? If Alexa was just going to win in 9 days, 8 days, I don't get it. I don't get it. Honestly, I don't think they put much thought into it. Man. Faceman Buddha says, what up, Richani? Banks losing is malarkey. She had a 3-week run, her first run, then 2 to 4 week runs, and now an 8-day run. Yeah. JB asks, was that a babyface turn for Alexa Bliss or for Nia Jax? Good question, my friend. I am assuming Nia Jax, but that's a weird dynamic, isn't it? Alexa Bliss is this tiny little girl that should have Nia Jax as her bodyguard at all times, and yet she wins all these big matches clean and is booked as a badass. Weird ass dynamic. That's all I gotta say. Very weird dynamic. Now let's go to the opening of the show. By the way, if you're enjoying this live stream, please feel free to click the like button, share this with all your friends. I know a few people asked me this at the beginning of the show. No, I'm looking at my watch list here, my ridiculously long watch list on WWE Network. I have not seen the Mae Young Classic yet, so please don't hate, okay? I had to finish watching Defenders. I had to catch up on Game of Thrones. I had to catch up on Insecure. I had to catch up on Ballers. And Spencer trying to get that team in Las Vegas, all right? The Rock Show. It's a really good show on HBO. Also, I kind of had to sleep and, do some work and stuff. So at some point, I will put 4 hours aside to watch the first 4 episodes of the Mae Young Classic, perhaps tomorrow, and I will talk about it on one of my upcoming recap shows. I promise you. I'll give you my thoughts. Although, I did read some reviews on the commentary, and I gotta say, while I love Jim Ross, he is a friend of the show. I do not have a bad thing to say about Jim Ross personally. Just based on what I've read, his commentary with Lita has not gotten great reviews. Now, I've heard way worse stuff about Lita, but from what I understand, the commentary was actually a detriment to the Mae Young Classic thus far. I have not watched the show. I think I maybe saw a couple minutes, the opening, and then I had to go do something. I'm going to watch it. I'll give you guys my completely honest, objective review in a couple of days. But if you have any thoughts on the Mae Young Classic so far, without totally spoiling it for me, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. Also, please feel free to like this video, share this with all your friends, visit thesportscourier.com, and of course, don't forget to subscribe for more updates. So, we opened the show with The Miz coming out with Maurice and the Miztourage. They were complaining about the treatment of the Intercontinental Champion and the Intercontinental title. And Kurt Angle interrupts, says, Miz, I'm going to show respect to you in the IC title. we're going to have you defend the title next week before No Mercy, and we're going to have a 15-man battle royal to determine who is going to be your number one contender next week. So we had this 15-man battle royal, and let me just go through it for you guys. I literally blinked and missed this guy. Kurt Hawkins apparently got eliminated relatively quickly. Kalisto was eliminated soon after by the Miztourage. This pissed me off because Kalisto is a good worker, very marketable, bilingual, a good worker. I mean, I don't know. He's just good. He's a good wrestler. Why is he being eliminated within 1 minute? I get the fact that Vince McMahon is friends with a certain guy who might not have the best relationship with Mexicans right now, okay? But you have a guy right here, okay, who can sell masks. You have a guy right here who, last time I checked when I went to a number of live events, including house shows where there's a lot of families, this guy got a great reaction. The next show I went to where he was on got a great reaction. Kids love Kalisto. So push him. Put him in the damn Cruiserweight division. Have him win the title. Have him defend it in good matches. But no, instead, and I get why to an extent, but still, instead, we're potentially going to have Enzo Amore. Literally, the worst walking stereotype of my home state of New Jersey as Cruiserweight champion. Well, maybe the second worst to Chris Christie, but still. Actually, maybe he's the third to the Jersey Shore cast, but that was like 7 years ago, and now they have kids. Whatever. He's like 1A or 1B, depending on where you want to put Chris Christie. But, ugh. Man, his Instagram feed was tragic. He paid $10,000 for a Mayweather-McGregor ticket. He was posing with Steve Harvey and Chance the Rapper and all these celebrities that I guarantee you didn't recognize him for one bit. They had the look on their face like, who the F is this guy? It was hilarious. But man, Enzo went from being a guy I really like to watch. The guy just went off my TV. My God. Whoa. We'll get to him in a bit. So anyway, poor Kalisto lasted longer. My rant lasted longer than poor Kalisto, who was eliminated by the Miztourage. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Finn Balor, of all people, brought back memories of the original Bullet Club and New Japan Pro Wrestling and eliminated the Big Show together. Here's another guy, the Big Show, practically a part-timer now. He should be a special attraction. He's definitely going to the Hall of Fame. Well-liked guy. He gets a reaction from the fans. Popular at house shows. I'm not saying I want to see Big Show in main events. But you can't tell me that this guy who has got himself in phenomenal shape in his mid-40s for a giant can't be utilized better than this. Even just to put over guys. Because we'll see later in this show that elimination meant nothing in the long run. Unless, of course, the club is going to reform in WWE, which would be awesome. But I don't see that happening right now, and I'll tell you why in a bit. Okay. Miztourage eliminates R-Truth. Luke Gallows eliminates Goldust. So much for Goldust's big reveal. Wasn't he supposed to reveal something at SummerSlam, and it never happened? Plans change, I guess. We had Elias Sampson, who's no longer Elias Sampson. He's just Elias. Eliminated Apollo Crews. I think this happened during the commercial break. Another great talent that just got eliminated by Elias, of all people. Why isn't Apollo Crews in the Cruiserweight division? I don't know. Matt Hardy eliminated Gallows. Then he eliminated Carl Anderson. Then Gallows pulled Matt Hardy off the apron to eliminate him. One of these finishes is enough to set up an angle. The old finish of a guy who was eliminating a guy from a Battle Royal anyway because he went over the top rope. It's the old Royal Rumble 97 finish with Austin and Brett, where Austin was eliminated, but the referees outside didn't see, so Austin eliminated Brett, and that led to their match at WrestleMania. They had to do this twice. We also had Miz come in and prevent the Miztourage from being eliminated. That was kind of lame. Finn Balor was running wild, only for Bray Wyatt to appear out of the darkness, eliminate Finn, even though he's not officially in the match. And then, because the Bray Wyatt character has no purpose other than having the most goddamn worst storylines since Kane, he just disappears. He doesn't care about the Intercontinental title. He doesn't care about the World title. He doesn't care about headlining WrestleMania, headlining Survivor Series, winning the Royal Rumble. He doesn't care. All he cares about is speaking in hyperbole, speaking in these stupid riddles, laughing, going, and taking every rejected storyline Kane ever had for See No Evil 3 or 4 and putting it all on live TV. I don't blame the guy, okay? I'm sure Wyndham Rotunda's a nice guy, other than him allegedly cheating on his wife, okay? Allegedly. Let's not always trust the Daily Mail. But, my God, this gimmick just, it sucks. It sucks. If he was booked like The Undertaker in the early 90s and throughout the 2000s, where he was kept off TV for long periods of time, he'd come in, he'd win some matches and be protected and never lose, that'd be great. But that ship sailed 4 years ago. We just saw Finn Balor, the Demon, beat Bray Wyatt. So now we're going to have to see it again. Why? So it could build up to a TLC match where it blows off the feud? Let me tell you the last time a guy feuded with Bray Wyatt leading up to a TLC match and how that ended. It ended with Dean Ambrose having a monitor explode in his face and then eating his sister Abigail. That did wonders for his career. Wonders. So sick of Bray Wyatt. So, Finn's eliminated. That pissed me off. And after that, Jordan eliminated the Miztourage and Samson. And then Jeff Hardy eliminated Jordan to get the IC title shot against The Miz next week to potentially become a 5-time IC champion. I hope this leads to a Jeff Hardy singles run. Nothing against Matt Hardy, but if they really can't use the broken gimmick, you really should do something with Jeff Hardy in a singles role because he still looks young. He's still marketable. He's still a big star, and he's one of the few guys on the active roster right now who can legitimately say they drew money at a main event level. There was a period where Jeff Hardy, I think, and again, it was a brief period. It may have been like 08, 09. But for a brief period, he was actually, I think, neck and neck with John Cena when it comes to drawing power. Think about that. That was almost 10 years ago. But still, the guy drew on the indies. He drew everywhere but TNA, but nobody drew in TNA. But other than TNA, everywhere when he's drawn. Especially recently with the broken gimmick. But he's Jeff Hardy. To WWE fans that did not watch TNA, that did not watch the YouTube videos, he is Jeff Hardy, WWE legend, who's done some kick-ass stuff and has had a legendary career. I think it's too soon for The Miz to lose the IC title right now, but would I like to see Jeff Hardy in the mix? Absolutely. If you got to put him on SmackDown, do it. But Jeff Hardy, I think, should definitely at least sniff the main event scene at some point within this next year. And for those complaining, oh, he's old, well, a lot of guys are old. Okay? But he's drawn money. Okay, we had Alexa Bliss cut a promo saying she's going to win the Women's Championship. That turned out to be true. Enzo Amore defeated Noam Dar with an Eat defeat. Gail Kim's finishing move. This match was nothing. Enzo cut a promo burying Conor McGregor, which got boos. And then he claimed he could dance, fly, and announce at the same time, and announced Noam Dar as No Dar. I've never felt so bad for Noam Dar. I'm not a Noam Dar fan. I'm sure he's a nice kid. I don't think he's at the level of some of these other guys in the cruiserweight division. But man, he didn't even deserve this. Nothing says like allegedly punishing Enzo Amore for his polarizing backstage attitude by putting him in the cruiserweight division and putting him over at the expense of other significantly talented guys. Granted, he does good in ratings. He does well with merchandise. He does well with kids. I'm not hating. Okay, I get it. It's funny. It's a funny experiment to see Enzo Amore and 205 Live. It gets people talking. It gets people watching. How I watched 205 Live just when I heard Enzo Amore was on. Okay? But the long-term goal shouldn't be him as the face of the cruiserweight division. Frankly, I don't think the long-term goal should be a cruiserweight division. I think eventually they should merge it with the UK title. And I think long-term, they should put some of these guys in NXT that desperately need it. I think Arya Daivari could definitely use a run in NXT. I think once the Singh brothers run their course with Jinder Mahal, they should either be in the tag team division or go to NXT. Some other guys that they need character development, I think they could go to NXT. And, maybe there's a couple guys that get cut. So be it. This is WWE. You got to wrestle at the top level. Or at least you should be able to wrestle at the top level or project at the top level. So we'll see what happens. If it were up to me, I'd kill the cruiserweight division. I do it gradually. I do it respectfully. But at this point, I would kind of just ease these guys into regular competition. Because with that cruiserweight label, for better or worse, even with this fun Enzo Amore experiment, I'm sure it's fun to Vince McMahon right now. It may not be fun a month from now, 2 months from now. Vince McMahon might say, God damn, let's keep these guys on a pre-show. Let's have Braun Strowman, squash him or whatever. I respect the fact that Triple H is trying. I respect the fact that even in Vince McMahon's eyes, maybe he is really trying, despite what he thinks about smaller wrestlers. But at the moment, it really hasn't worked, and 205 Live has not done well in terms of viewership on the network or on YouTube. Oh boy. Whoo. This segment. Oh my gosh. This segment between Roman Reigns and John Cena. I need to take a drink of some seltzer water before I recap this. Okay. Where in God's name do I start? So, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Jeez. Okay. Here we go. I don't know whether to love this segment or hate this segment. We had John Cena come out for the contract signing. For those that don't know, as we posted on the sportscourier.com, as WWE.com reported via their app, Roman Reigns versus John Cena is official for No Mercy. That's right. Yet another WrestleMania caliber main event, much like Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. It is official for, I don't want to say a throwaway pay-per-view, but a B pay-per-view with no name value and No Mercy in September. On September 24th, Los Angeles, California, Staples Center. Those lucky West Coast fans. Oh, if I had any vacation time left, I would actually fly out to see those matches. For real. For reals. But I'll have to watch it on the network with everybody else, which is fine. I like watching with you guys. John Cena came out, and I realized I just skipped a few segments because I skipped ahead in my report, but that's okay. Since I brought it up, I will continue with this. Cena cut a promo on Roman Reigns, calling him a protected blue chipper. I'm like, wait a minute, blue chipper? Blue chipper is like an up-and-comer. Roman Reigns is not really an up-and-comer. He's a Royal Rumble winner. He's a 2-time Royal Rumble finalist. And he's a 3-time WrestleMania headliner, 3-time world champion, whatever. Cena says he gives no Fs, those are his words, and wants to fight Reigns because he thinks he can beat him. Fair. Short and to the point before Reigns enters the ring. Crowd doesn't like both guys for the second straight week. Kurt Angle, who's moderating the contract signing, says that this is a WrestleMania-worthy match. My immediate thought was, again, why are we getting this match at No Mercy and not at WrestleMania? I think that perhaps that means John Cena is going to be going away for a long time filming because he's doing Transformers. I think he signed on to do another film, and I'm sure he's going to kill it in those films. He's a very talented actor, so I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to get roles. Plus, he has Total Bella's duties, Total Divas duties, and let's face it, after 15 years of going hard, the dude deserves a little bit of a break. I mean, he's not going to get a break. He's going to still work, but, I mean, deserves a break from taking bumps, I should say. So, Reigns smiles at Cena in disbelief. He smiles at the claims that Reigns doesn't want to fight him. Reigns tells Cena he's not that big of a deal. He's not as big of a deal as he thinks he is. And he did what Cena never did. Retired The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. The crowd hates this. Reigns says maybe he doesn't need to fight Cena. Cena says maybe Reigns is right. And he calls himself a polarizing figure. Cena even brings up the term heel turn. He says fans want him to change the content of his character. Cena says he's not going to change who he is. He then says fans are mixed on Roman Reigns. They've given him a mixed reaction because they see him for what he is. And this is where this promo got really weird and very Vince Russo, reality-esque, to the point where I don't know if I was going to be turned off or not by this. He said Roman Reigns is a cheap-ass, corporate bootleg version of John Cena. He says Reigns isn't the guy, but a guy. He says he's not the... And then Cena says, I'm not the Undertaker with a bad hip. I'm the fastest, strongest, hungriest I've ever been. And he says, Reigns, you don't want to sign this contract because you know the Roman Empire will fall. So, crowd's like, holy crap, that cuts deep. That's a little reality-based. Wow. And then John Cena proceeds to wait for Roman Reigns to cut this promo. Roman Reigns stumbles on his words, and John says something along the lines of, it's called a promo. So long, fourth wall. At this point, I'm losing my mind. I don't know whether to hate this segment or love this segment. So Reigns flips out, calls Cena a part-timer bitch who gets to be on the Today Show because of Reigns, because Reigns busts his ass every day and night, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday. He says that Cena gets on his little tour bus, comes to events, brings his golden shovel, and just buries talent. This is the part where it sounded like the worst wrestling message board you've ever read. Or the worst part of Reddit. The burials, really. Now you could have brought this up maybe like 2010 when he beat the Nexus. Maybe even 2015 when he beat Rusev. Although he did put over a lot of guys in 2015 too. But in 2017, okay, you know what? He did bury Baron Corbin. But guess what? Newsflash, Baron Corbin sucks at this moment. And hopefully, Baron Corbin can one day become a viable WWE superstar that actually entertains me and a mass audience and doesn't cause them to collectively not give a crap. But in the meantime, I don't really care that he got buried by John Cena because he probably deserved it. So I don't know if that's what Reigns was referring to. Whatever. I'm assuming both guys were somewhat scripted, although John Cena, as he has said in out-of-character interviews, he has stated he usually likes to let things fly in promos. He likes to dish things out and take it. Okay, he likes to throw fire and fight fire with fire. I'm not using his exact words, but he essentially says anything goes. He says he essentially has said in the past, you better be able to hang with him on the mic when you're out there. Everything's fair game. As we saw with the Miz feud and other feuds that he's had. So yeah, Roman Reigns calls him a bitch over and over again. Claims Cena buries talent, but he's bitter because he can't bury him. He uses the word bitch a lot. And then Cena proceeds to verbally murder this guy in cold blood. He brought up the fact that, you know what, Roman, I haven't main evented WrestleMania in 5 years. I was in the opening match of SummerSlam, and I proudly held the United States title to help introduce fans to fresh, young talent instead of taking it as a demotion like you did. Now, luckily for Reigns, he did not bring up the wellness failure or the fact that Reigns still wrestles in a vest when Dean and Seth have wrestled shirtless. He bluntly tells Reigns it took him 5 years to cut a decent promo and that he should be ashamed of himself. Quote, I'm still here because you can't do your job. Cena then ends this verbal murder by saying that he is still here because he can do this part-time thing, wrestling, better than Reigns can do it full-time, and he drops the damn mic. Let me breathe for a second here. I have no idea if John Cena was totally scripted to go that far. I have no idea if Vince McMahon actually thought... I'm assuming Vince McMahon thought this was a good idea. I'm assuming Vince McMahon thinks that this is going to get Roman Reigns over to the next level. But you know what it did in my eyes? And maybe I'm in the minority here. I think this buried Reigns alive. I think this exposed every freaking single flaw he had. And unless he is actually turning heel properly, much like Tetsuya Naito in New Japan Pro Wrestling, much like Stone Cold Steve Austin in 2001, much like The Rock in 1998, well, 97 and 98, much like Triple H in 99 when he turned on DX, unless he's going full-blown heel, I honest to God have no idea how this helps him. I don't know how this benefits Cena either. I mean, I guess if he beats Roman Reigns, it's a big win. And I'm not even hating on Cena for cutting this promo. He's doing what he's told. He's doing his thing. But holy crap. He pointed out every single real-life flaw Roman Reigns has. And newsflash, Roman Reigns, I personally think Roman Reigns is a great worker. I feel like lately some of his matches have been kind of the same. All right? I think he should change it up a bit. But I think that has more to do with his character than him as a worker. I think for a guy that's had 5-6 years of experience in the business, he's a great worker. I genuinely believe that. Would I put him at the level of a guy like Okada or Kenny Omega or AJ Styles? Personally, no. Would I put him at the level of Cena? No. I wouldn't, but it'll come with time. Like I said, he's been in the business 5-6 years, and he's already great in the ring. That being said, the guy does have serious fundamental flaws. He's not the best on the mic. He has a presence, but it's not necessarily a presence that you could put your finger on and say it. He hasn't translated to more network subscriptions, and it's a different era. I don't want to totally blame him. There are circumstances beyond his control. He has led WWE's YouTube channel in video views. I've been checking every couple weeks, and he seems to lead him along with Brock Lesnar. So there's obviously interest in him. I've gone to events before. I've seen a lot of Roman Reigns shirts. I'm sure he sells a lot of merchandise. And by default, the guy who's pushed that hard should sell a lot of merchandise. But if he was really a guy who could be the heir apparent to John Cena, and he mentioned in a promo too that why would he soil his bloodlines to be the next John Cena when he could be the first Roman Reigns? True. But if he was really going to be the heir apparent of John Cena, would they really be doing this match at No Mercy? Will they not be doing something similar to The Rock and Cena, and granted it'd be a very poor man's version of this, of Rock and Cena, and do it at WrestleMania, or SummerSlam, or Royal Rumble, or Survivor Series? Roman Reigns is good. Nobody's saying Roman Reigns is a bad performer. But to be that guy that John Cena has been over the last 10 to 12 years for WWE, they really exposed him tonight. They really did. I could be wrong. But I genuinely believe that this did Roman Reigns absolutely no favors. And unless he turns heel, it's only going to get worse from here. That's just my opinion. Another thing. Right after this segment, we had Gallows and Anderson interrupt after both guys signed the contract and were teasing fighting. And Kurt Angle booked Cena and Reigns to face Gallows and Anderson, and they beat them in short order. Burial of the Club yet again, who are an actual tag team, who actually looked good tonight. And nothing says, I hate your opponent so much, like teaming with him 5 minutes after you bury him verbally beneath the face of the earth. Okay, back to the segments I accidentally skipped. We had Brock Lesnar come out for a promo with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman says he doesn't believe in monsters, but he believes Braun Strowman's a monster. Showed the video footage, kept putting over how Brock's going to kill him. Brock took the mic, got sick of Paul's blabbering, and said, what he's trying to say is Suplex City, bitch. Walked out. Short, effective, to the point. We had Seth Rollins come out, and what took forever, he came out, commercial break, so he's standing in the ring during commercial break, trailer for Total Bellas, then a video package of Cena and Reigns, then Cesaro's entrance. It felt like Seth was out there for an eternity. Cesaro beat Seth when Seth was distracted because Ambrose and Sheamus were brawling on the outside. Then we had Ambrose beat Sheamus with the dirty deeds after a bunch of interference. We had Emma and Mickie James bicker backstage about Nia Jax, Twitter, hashtags, and who truly started the women's revolution. Emma beat Mickie James by countering her role by just sitting on top of her. This went like 2 minutes. And then she kept screaming, I started the women's revolution. I started the women's revolution, to the point of nauseam. By the way, they were in Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler's hometown. Jerry Lawler was filling in for Booker T, who's not stranded, but stuck in Houston because of Hurricane/Tropical Storm Harvey. We send our best wishes to everybody being affected there right now, including my fellow Texas peeps. God bless you. Also, Emma got new entrance music. It was this cool EDM song, so maybe she is getting a chance. About damn time. Although, unfortunately, it's at the expense of another great women's wrestler in Mickie James. Okay, Elias comes out to perform a song. He insults Memphis. Jerry Lawler interrupts him, introduces Pelvis Wesley from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Not gonna lie, I've really only seen like a few short clips of Southpaw. It's funny, but I don't expect the mass audience to understand it or care for it. They didn't, and Elias beat the hell out of Heath Slater's Elvis gimmick. And then we had the Women's Championship main event. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. As I mentioned, Alexa Bliss won with her DDT, killing yet another babyface's momentum. So overall, just due to the eventfulness, I got to give this Raw a thumbs up. If you haven't watched the show yet and you want to know what to watch, I mean, it's weird. I'm giving the show a thumbs up where when I'm about to tell you, you could skip a bunch of stuff. thumbs up for being eventful. Match quality-wise in the middle. Honestly, the only thing you should really watch is the Reigns and Cena segment. Everything else kind of pales in comparison. So I guess from an in-ring standpoint, it's a thumbs down. But from a newsworthy standpoint, it's a massive thumbs up. So watch the promos. Maybe watch Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks. That was pretty good, even though it had a terrible finish. So, yeah. I guess if you combine the in-ring rating and the eventful rating, it's a thumbs in the middle. But I'm inclined to lean towards thumbs up. If you watch this in real time, or you haven't watched this yet, need something to do, I mean, it definitely had some unique moments. We'll see what happens with Sasha Banks. We'll see who's the babyface in the Nia and Alexa feud. And we'll definitely see what happens with Roman Reigns and John Cena. Jesus Christmas. All right. Before I go, let me take a few more questions here. By the way, if you did enjoy this recap, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Liberal Tears says, RIP Sasha. That's an interesting username. Mike Hood says, same thing with AJ Styles and The Miz when it comes to Cena's mic work. Yeah, but guess what? AJ Styles and Miz could hang. Okay, and they weren't hung out to dry. They did all right for themselves. Alan Wu says, I thought blue chipper meant big name wrestler with a familiar rep like blue chip stock. Maybe Cena has a different definition of it than I do. Noe Lara says, what are your thoughts on the Sexy Star Rosemary incident? For those that don't know, Sexy Star, who's a luchadora in AAA and in Lucha Underground, made Rosemary in their match at Triple Mania, the big event for AAA over the weekend, tap out, doing an armbar. And Sexy Star is known to be very unprofessional. Apparently, torqued the hell out of Rosemary's arm, to the point where it was feared she might have suffered a torn triceps or strained biceps or something. I have no idea what the extent of the injury is, but she was obviously hurt. It was apparently a chaotic backstage scene. From what I understand, Vampiro and other AAA officials calmed the situation down, but Rosemary did release a statement claiming that, yes, Sexy Star legitimately did try to rip off her arm, which is just completely unprofessional. You got to protect your opponent at all times. Seriously, for the love of God. I know I've gotten on Nia Jax before for being reckless with her opponents, but Nia Jax seems like a sweet woman. I don't think she ever intentionally goes out there to try to hurt any opponent for real. It just, you got to be careful. When I go off on like Nia Jax or a worker that's a little reckless, I don't think that they're necessarily bad people, or anything. I don't at all. I'm sure they're all nice people. It's just, you got to be careful in there. In the case of Sexy Star, she did this deliberately. It's disgusting. She should be blacklisted. Yeah, she should be blacklisted. I don't know what else to say. If GFW books her or any of these other companies book her, then they're really gutless and have no moral compass. So they really should not book her. Blacklist Sexy Star. She sucks in the ring. She's apparently a locker room cancer. And if it wasn't evident before, it's certainly evident now. So get the hell out, Sexy Star. As Cody Rhodes said, I don't want her anywhere near my locker room. Not that I have one, but hypothetically speaking, if I was a wrestler and I did have a locker room, I would not want her in there one bit. Okay, Dan Bone says this was surprisingly a good Raw. Yeah, it was pretty damn good. From an event standpoint, pretty damn good. Match quality could have been better, but it definitely got over No Mercy and intrigued me to watch the pay-per-view. Jeremy Bauer says, if they don't put Kalisto in the Cruiserweight division, just move him back to NXT and align him with Andrade Cien Almas. I like that. Maybe form the NXT version of Los Ingobernables. I love that. Miz Taraj versus Balor Club would be more interesting than Bray and Finn continuing. Yes, that's sad to say, but it's true. Hectic Charisma says, hey Fred, did you hear the rumor that it's going to be Jinder versus Nakamura at Hell in a Cell? Yeah, they're going to need a buffer in between because that Hell in a Cell pay-per-view I think is not till October. So I guess he can maybe do Jinder and AJ. AJ has the U.S. title. He could afford to lose to Jinder Mahal due to some malarkey. You could do Kevin Owens, although that's a little weird because he just lost the U.S. title. Maybe Baron Corbin can pick up a non-title win over AJ and get the number one contendership and lose fair and square to Jinder. You got a few options. Maybe Sami Zayn if they build him up for a couple weeks. Maybe Bobby Roode, who just debuted. Also want to send best wishes out to Big Cass, who's going to be out for 9 months. It looks like he tore his, I believe it was an ACL injury, right? Let me just double check that for accuracy purposes while we're on the air here. Yep, WWE confirmed there was a torn ACL, which sucks. He's going to be out until like 9 months. Biggest push of his life. Get well soon, Big Cass. Get well soon, Asuka. I did not, when she vacated the women's championship in those pictures I saw from the Full Sail tapings, I did not see a sling on her arm. But if she is actually hurt, I do hope she gets well soon too. Either way, she could probably use a break. But yeah, Nakamura and Jinder Mahal, not looking forward to that. What I fear is they're going to kill the Hell in a Cell stipulation more than it has already been killed, where the Singh brothers are somehow going to find a way to get in. Here's how I predict it's going to go down. I would love to see, first of all, I'd love to see Nakamura just win the title. But since they love to kill babyfaces' momentum, since they think that just getting heat means automatically it's going to draw money and draw positive attention when it doesn't, here's what I see happening. Great Khali is going to reappear out of his ass, pull off the cell door, attack Nakamura. Randy Orton's going to come in, or some babyface, let's just say Randy Orton. He's going to attack the Great Khali and RKO him, giving the world's most awkward, biggest RKO for revenge from months back at Battleground in the horrible Punjabi prison match. Then Nakamura is going to hit a Kinshasa, go for the pin. But, of course, because the door's open, the Singh brothers are going to return, pull Nakamura out of the ring, attack him. He's going to beat them. Jinder's going to hit the Kalash, the Cobra Clutch Slam, shades of the great Billy Gunn, and he's going to pin him 1, 2, 3. So if Nakamura does lose, what do you do with Nakamura and Jinder going forward? Well, we have a lot of time to think about that. I think I already brought this up on another broadcast. You could have somebody from NXT come out of nowhere and beat Jinder. Shock people like Aleister Black. Also, apologies, I think a couple weeks ago I referred to Aleister Black as a wrestler from the UK. He made his name in the UK and all throughout Europe, but he's actually Dutch, so my bad. He belongs actually in the collection of badasses that includes Alistair Overeem and Bas Rutten and a number of other guys. So, my apologies to Aleister Black. Please don't kill me. Fred, what do you think about Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish in NXT? I love it. I love it. They are keeping things fresh. NXT's been so damn stale. Asuka should go to Raw and Bayley should go to SmackDown. I'm fine with that. And lastly, right here, we'll take one more comment. Fred, where do you see Sasha Banks going from here? I could see her interjecting herself and them doing a triple threat at No Mercy. And then at TLC, maybe doing Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss, where Alexa Bliss can beat Nia Jax without pinning her or submitting her. And after that, who the hell knows? But folks, what I know is I'm going to get on out of here, and I want to hear from you. What do you think about Monday Night Raw? What do you think about the state of WWE? What do you think about all these tweets coming in of the polarizing reactions to the John Cena promo on Roman Reigns and the main event finish? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us, Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care. Click that subscribe button for more updates. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Mayweather-McGregor coverage. We're definitely going to be doing more live chats during big pay-per-views such as Canelo versus Golovkin, No Mercy, Hell in a Cell. You name it, we got it. Also visit our new website, thesportscourier.com. Pardon our appearance, it is a work in progress. And also, if you want to support us with some awesome gear, please log on to teespring.com/TSC-news-gear. The link's in the description as well. And get your exclusive t-shirt and hoodie. If you tweet me a pic with it, perhaps I'll send you some badass free swag that I got all over here. I got to get rid of it somehow and rather give it to my most awesome friends. Until next time, everybody, as always, enjoy the matches.